It's something about them that drives them, that they will invest in themselves. They go to seminars and workshops and lectures, and they're seeking, there's something in them that says, I can do better than this. That there are people who would be glad to be where they are, and would, if you had your life to live over again, you can do more than what you've done thus far. Raise your hands. I was reading a story about George Bernard Shaw, who was a very man in his day, and I love to quote him. But one of the things that was asked George Bernard Shaw that really resonated with me at the end of his life, somebody asked him, if you to be anybody in the world, anybody throughout history, if you had the power to be born again, who would you like to come back as? And without blinking, he said, I'd like to be born as the man I never was. I like to be the man I never was, that I never became. Seeking to connect with that person. There's another person here that you're looking at. Everybody else back there. And every chair in this place, there are two people in every chair. You're in the chair with somebody else. There's another person back there. You know they're back there. And that person is the person that you want to become connected with. And sometimes you do. Sometimes you've had some experiences where you said, I can't believe I'm doing this. How many of you have ever done that, please? That you surprise yourself. Well, every time I speak, I see a sacred opportunity. Because when I look back on my life, this Les Brown that you see was in bondage for so many years. Didn't come out till late in my life. How many of you? Something you wanted to do. You felt it in your heart. You couldn't explain it. You felt it in your heart. And you talked yourself out of it. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. I talked myself out of it. No one did it to me but me. The forte of fruitus is not in our stars, but in cells that we are underlings. I don't even know you, but I'm telling you what I know from my own experience. And greatness, ladies and gentlemen, greatness, it's a choice. It's not your destiny. Most people never discover their greatness. Most people, ladies and gentlemen, go to their graves living a life of mediocrity. Living a life far below homes that most men and women go to their graves with their music still in them. Gentlemen, a lot of people die full of their dreams, full of talent, full of ideas, full of skills, full of intelligence and abilities that they never tapped, they never got into, they never used it, never used it. And so how do we do that? What that blocks us? Well, I mentioned one. What mine was fear. Here's another one. I didn't feel good enough. I was comparing myself to other people. I didn't feel, because I didn't have a college education, and based upon my failures and disappointments in the past and things that I'd attempted to do and they did not work out. A very practical, realistic, logical case on why I couldn't have my dream. I want whatever dream you have, I want you to expand it. I want you to. You don't ask yourself how you're going to do it. How is none of your business. Don't get trapped there. And don't worry about failing. You're going to fail. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to look for life. Make it okay to fail. Dr. Benjamin Isaiah Mays says, it must be borne in mind that and not reaching your goals. The tragedy lies in not having any goals to reach. It isn't a calamity to die with dreams unfulfilled, but it is a calamity not to dream. It's not a disaster to be unable to capture your ideas, but it is a disaster to have no ideas to capture. It's not a disgrace not to reach for the stars, but it is a disgrace to have no stars to reach. I say you got goals and dreams, things that you're reaching for, things that will make you stretch, things that will challenge you. I say don't lose that passion and that drive for life. It will keep you alive. I'm telling you what I know. Doctors looked at me 8 years ago and said, you have cancer. 8 years ago, they gave me 2.5 years. I was still here. I told my I'm going to beat this, and this is a year. All of them said, okay, Lester, we believe you, man. We're believing in you. And then they start calling the person who manages my speaking program and say, will we get a refund when he dies? Because they were believing the numbers. See, the people that are going to reach their goals and dreams, not only do they have compelling reasons that drive them, because the thing that drove me, that kept me ahead of everybody else, I had some compelling reasons of why I was selling television sets, no money down. I had some compelling reasons that I'd go to a door at 10 o'clock at night and knock on the door. Hello? Yes? Who is that? Hi, would you like to buy a nice working television set? No money down. Here, my mama. And I'm going to sell a television set tonight to somebody, and it might as well be you. And finally, somebody said, fool, come on in here. It better be a good one. You got to have some reasons. Reasons will drive you. Reasons will give you comeback power. One of my good friends, Willie Jolly, has a saying, a setback is a setup for comeback. The setback is a setup for a comeback. When they said, you have cancer, one of the things that was different for me than everybody else, and I just finished doing a presentation called You Are More Powerful Than Cancer, was because of the fact that I listened to so many positive things. I went to so many lectures. I talked to so many people that were cancer conquerors. I asked them, what did you do? And when people said to me, oh, my uncle died of prostate cancer, my father died from prostate cancer, my mind said, well, that has nothing to do with me. I don't want to hear nothing about that. I'm not being insensitive, but don't tell me that. That's not my destiny. I got too much to do. I got things that I'm supposed to accomplish. And so I had a mindset, beat this. I can get past this. Oh, no, I'm not going out like this. So you got to stand up in yourself. You got to fight. You will have opposition. Things going to happen to you in life. It's called life, and it's not personal. Stuff's going to happen. And if you make it to the 40-yard line, if you can make it to age 40, between 40 and 60, it begins to intensify. All kind of things happen. Between 40 and 60, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer and finally died. Between 40 and 60, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Between 40 and 60, I went through a divorce from someone that I loved very much. Between 40 and 60, my best friend died waiting on a liver transplant. Between 40 and 60, had a nationally syndicated talk show, highest rated, fastest canceled talk show in the history of television. Between 40 and 60, oh, life put a whooping on me. My God, how many of y'all had yours already? How many know what I'm talking about? It ain't personal. Don't say, why did this have to happen to me? Why not you? It's called life. And here's what the key to it. That work on yourself. I read every book I could on how to heal yourself. I listened to every speech. I talked to people. I went to lectures. I mean, everything dealing with healing, I fed my mind. Life is a fight for territory. And once you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want will automatically take over. Life is a fight for territory. And once you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want will automatically take over. What working on yourself does, by setting aside time to work on your mind, to go seminars and workshops, it causes you to reflect on yourself, to take personal inventory and your game plan and your strategy, but it increases your faith. See, a faith is something that continues to grow. What I earn is a reflection of what I believe subconsciously that I deserve. They did this study with these senior citizens in their 80s and 90s and that. If you look back on your life,
Is old school marketing no longer working for you? Our customers